You're likely aware that part of a good writing process is revision. You've probably been told to revise your paper between rough draft and final draft, often with someone else's feedback to guide you. Making changes based on that feedback is obviously part of getting your strongest paper, but have you really stopped to think about what revision means? That's what we're going to do in this video. Revision comes from a Latin word that means a seeing again. Stop and think about that for a moment. See it again. This means that revision asks you to look at your work with a new perspective, to really think about what you want it to do and whether it is doing that. It means being willing to make big changes if those changes help you accomplish your goals. It's also important to know that revision does not just mean fix or repair. At its heart, it means see. So real revision starts with your attention and thoughtfulness. It's also important to note that you don't have to have someone else's feedback to revise. Sure, it helps, but you can absolutely revise your work on your own without getting feedback at all. Revision is the work of revisiting your writing with new eyes and deciding what you want to keep and what you want to change. The first thing I want to make sure you understand as we talk about revision is autonomy. Autonomy is a word that means control and independence. What it means in writing and really creating any kind of art is that it is your work. No one else gets to decide how you should create it, not even your teacher. Sure, your teacher may evaluate it more harshly if you don't meet certain expectations, but at the end of the day, it's your writing and you get to decide what changes you do or don't make to it. Teachers can be wrong. What someone else thinks your paper should be doing might not meet your own goals. If someone points out an issue with your writing, but you have a different way to address it, your way may be better. Another important thing to understand as you're working on revision is that there is a difference between revision and proofreading. Revision means looking at your entire piece of writing and being willing to make big changes if that's what you decide is best. Think of it like painting a room. Revision is the big work you do with a roller brush. It can make a huge change. Proofreading refers to the tiny changes you make to sentence structure, punctuation, and style after you've got all your big ideas in order. It's like touching up the last little bits of a paint job. You want to proofread after you've revised. In fact, that's my first tip. Revise first, proofread later. Revision may include moving, deleting, or adding paragraphs, finding and incorporating new sources, changing your mind about your argument or an idea, or adding new details to your paper. In other words, your paper may look really different after you revise. You might have completely changed your argument. You might have completely new content in there. It's okay to make some major changes while you're revising. Proofreading, on the other hand, doesn't happen until after those ideas are all set. You've said what you want to say, and now you just want to make sure you said it well. Proofreading might include changing vocabulary choices, combining or separating sentences, formatting your font or spacing, adding punctuation marks, fixing grammatical errors, and correcting typos and misspelled words. Notice that the changes you make during proofreading are small changes that don't really alter your main idea. They don't really change your argument, and the basics of your paper are going to stay the same while you're proofreading. You're just touching it up and making sure that it's polished. This is probably the most important tip that I'm going to give you in today's video. Give yourself time. If you try to write, revise, and proofread a paper all in one day, or worse, all in one sitting, you're very likely going to get burnt out and not do your best. Set it aside between steps. Go do something else. Take a walk, listen to music, play a game. Don't think about it for a while. Remember that revision means to see again, and you can't see it again if you're still seeing it for the first time. Get some space between your rough draft and your revision. Then get some space again between your revision and your proofreading. Make sure that you give yourself time between each step, which means planning out and checking your feedback early and getting your rough draft in early, making sure that you've given yourself time in that process. Sometimes you're not going to have the time that you want. Sometimes you're going to be pushed up against a deadline, or you had other assignments that got away from you, or you procrastinated and you didn't want to. Whatever the case, occasionally you're not going to have enough time to really work on your paper the way that you want to. In those cases, you still want to take a break between these different stages, even if it's a short break, even if it's just 15 minutes to go walk around or go outside and take a deep breath or listen to a song. Because clearing your mind as you move from step to step in the writing process helps you do a better job. Don't skip this tip. Really, for real, where you can hear it, read your paper out loud. This is especially important for the proofreading stage. When you're looking for little errors like missing or misspelled words, you're going to hear things that you won't see. Reading it out loud helps you get a feel for the flow of your writing. You should never, ever hit submit on a final draft until you've read it out loud at least once. Here's the hard truth. Your paper is probably never going to be perfect. There's always something else you could do. You could change some more words. You could rewrite a few sentences. You could find some more sources. You could come up with a cleverer title. The list goes on and on and on and on. If you try to write a perfect paper, you will always feel like you didn't do enough because there's no such thing as a perfect paper. Instead, you should try to make it a solid reflection of your skills while meeting your goals. This is one paper out of dozens, probably hundreds, that you're going to write in your life. It doesn't need to be perfect. Do your best with the time and skills you have right now, and then let it go.